.com.
Ahead this half hour, hundreds of North Carolina nursing homes are still dealing with deadly COVID outbreaks, even with a push to get residents vaccinated. We're asking why this is happening.
Also ahead, a big change for local families. Some middle and high school students will soon be back in the classroom 5 days a week. Tonight, we ask parents how they're feeling about it.
Plus, a new round of stimulus checks means a new wave of scams, and some of these crooks are using your personal information to convince you they're legit. Our team is breaking down the warning signs.
Thank you for staying with us, everybody. I'm Sarah French.
And I'm Fred Shropshire.
Well, right now, first at 6, despite vaccine efforts, nursing homes in North Carolina are still being hit hard by this pandemic. Take a look at this. State data shows 279 active outbreaks in residential care settings, another 327 in nursing homes across the state. Out of those 600 facilities experiencing outbreaks, 77 of them have at least 100 cases, and 20 of those are right here in the WCNC Charlotte viewing area. New tonight, WCNC Charlotte's Brandon Goldner takes us to one local nursing home in Caldwell County dealing with its second outbreak since the pandemic began.
Caldwell County says they didn't even know about the COVID-19 cluster here at Hickory Falls until after they started looking at state numbers. This is the only way Charles Kelly gets to talk to his 85-year-old brother-in-law, Jason Cox, at Hickory Falls.
Well, it's better than nothing at all.
The facility currently has a COVID-19 cluster. Kelly says so far his brother-in-law has avoided the virus.
He's in good spirits today. He's a little down last week when it come up, but he's in good spirits today.
While Cox's spirits have lifted, the facility's COVID-19 numbers are dropping. Caldwell County says the facility has 13 active cases, but county spokeswoman Paige Counts says since December, the facility's had 151 total cases, with 49 staff members and 102 residents. She says Hickory Falls notified the state, but not the county, even though the health department invites every local nursing home to a weekly conference call.
Those cases were discovered when we went back through the state database.
She says some places have invited public health workers in to review their procedures, but she isn't sure if Hickory Falls is one of them.
The more we understand the facilities, the needs they have, the better we can serve them.
The county doesn't administer vaccines to nursing homes. The federal government contracts that out to CVS and Walgreens. There are no public numbers available for how many people in specific nursing homes got vaccinated. Kelly says his brother-in-law isn't one of them.
I bet that's, but he hasn't had it by that. He's not had his shots and everything.
Hickory Falls' administrator declined to comment. In Granite Falls, Brandon Goldner, WCNC Charlotte.
Novant Health is relocating its main vaccine site from Matthews to East Charlotte in an effort to reach more people. Novant says they hope to vaccinate 5,000 people a day. The new vaccine location opens tomorrow along East Independence Boulevard. It's by appointment only. Patients will be given information on exactly where to go when they make an appointment. Also tomorrow, hundreds of teachers across the Charlotte area are scheduled to get their first doses. Teachers from Gaston County, Iredell, Statesville, and Watauga County schools will get all their shots tomorrow. CMS teachers will be able to get vaccinated at that East Charlotte Novant clinic starting Thursday. Several other districts have clinics planned for later this week. In South Carolina, teachers are in the next priority group, but the state hasn't yet announced when they'll open up vaccine appointments for teachers and staff.
Hundreds of middle and high school students in Fort Mill will soon be back in the classroom 5 days a week. The district saying it will start this new instruction model on March 15th. Students who are currently virtual will remain virtual. Students who selected hybrid learning will return to the classroom full time. The district says it is unable to make changes at this time. WCNC Charlotte's Kendall Morris explains how parents are reacting to the news.
It's been nearly a year since many students transitioned to online learning. Now, Fort Mill School District says COVID-19 case counts have dropped and there is limited community spread, leading the district to this decision.
School is back in session 5 days a week for many middle and high school students in Fort Mill.
That's why the goal was always to get back to 5 days and has been in the back of our minds throughout the entire year.
The announcement leading to mixed opinions among parents.
I think she needs to get back. I think they all need to get back to some kind of normalcy.
Jennifer Belk's daughter, Julia, is a junior at Fort Mill High School. Julia has asthma, which is a concern, but her mom let her choose the hybrid face-to-face instruction this semester. Now transitioning to 5 days a week in person without an option to switch.
She'll be fine. It's not her first choice. But, if we can get it switched, which if there was any school district that could, as far as parent interaction, it's this one.
Thousands of people have signed this online petition calling the reopening of Fort Mill schools 5 days a week irresponsible and dangerous. However, some parents support the move. One saying on Facebook, "Thank you for having virtual continuing for those that are fearful and going back to 5 days for those of us who have our kids in the face-to-face learning." The school district says it will continue COVID-19 safety protocols.
We're not just flipping a switch and saying this doesn't matter anymore. We're still just trying to move forward with all the safety precautions possible.
The district doing what it can for the time being to get students back in the classroom and back on a normal schedule.
Clover School District is another district in our area looking to move away from virtual learning and transition to 5 days a week of in-person learning. The target date for that is set for March 8th. Kendall Morris, WCNC Charlotte.
Kendall, thank you. As student athletes hit the field, supporters are pushing for the right to cheer them on from the stands. And some state lawmakers agree. Republicans in the North Carolina House filed a new bill this week that would require schools to allow at least 25% capacity at high school sporting events. Currently, attendance at outdoor events is limited to 100 people, and indoor the limit is 25. Governor Roy Cooper is expected to announce the easing of some of these restrictions at a news conference tomorrow afternoon.
Charlotte's tent city is no more. County commissioners providing an update on the homeless encampment this afternoon. They say the cleanup process is complete and all 5 property owners have submitted pest control plans. You might recall a rat infestation prompted the county's health director to order everyone out. More than 200 people who had been living in tents on the edge of Uptown now staying in free hotels. County leaders are working to get them into permanent housing, some as soon as this week.
A local program that has given more kids jobs than any other program in the region is struggling to find support this year. The mayor's youth employment program has been around for 35 years, giving thousands of teenagers in the Charlotte area real work experience in a variety of sectors and businesses. Before COVID restrictions went into place last year, they had 105 businesses committed to participate in the program. This year, so far, they only have 18, and there are 600 students hoping for a spot.
So while we have over 600 people or youth involved in it, we can take more if the business community helps support and more growth in our system, in our programs.
Lyles says the program is for students from all walks of life who are looking to learn more about their future and their potential. Meanwhile, one local mother says her son's future was cut short. Joshua Clausen was gunned down late last year. He was just 16 years old. The suspects in the case, just 15 and 16. WCNC Charlotte's Tanya Mendez takes a closer look at the rising of teen violence in our community.
With so many schools not open for most of the year, plenty of kids have had plenty of unsupervised time. The mom I spoke to today told me her son hadn't left the house in more than a month. And when he finally did, he never came home.
I just feel lost. I feel hurt, you know. My son was everything to me.
Alicia Clausen often stares at the urn that now sits in her home.
I just don't believe it, man. It's just crazy.
Her son Josh shot and killed while visiting a friend's house back in November. Just 16 years old. Police say he wasn't even the target.
Because he didn't deserve that. He didn't bother nobody. He didn't get in trouble. He didn't mess with nobody. He was a loving, good boy.
The two accused of killing him just as young, 15 and 16. Part of a rising trend of teen violence. According to CMPD, last year there were 16 homicide victims under the age of 18. That's double the year before when there were 8. Kids under 18 were 13% of the homicide victims overall. That's also close to double the year prior.
We got to be a good role model for our kids, set a good example. All this killing and fighting and shooting is not worth it.
Clausen now protecting her surviving children with everything she's got. Hopes the justice system will do the same.
I feel like if you kill somebody, you're supposed to be in jail. just give them a slap on the hand because they're minors. I feel like something needs to be done. I'm not going to stop until I get justice for my son because he didn't deserve it.
The teens in this case were charged with murder and shooting into an occupied dwelling. However, because they're underage, we don't know their names or updates in their cases. I'm Tanya Mendes, WCNC Charlotte.
Clausen says she has not received any updates in her son's case in a month.
With a third round of stimulus checks poised to pass, the FTC is warning about crooks trying to intercept your money, using your personal data to trick you. And you might be surprised how they're getting that information. Scammers have already made off with at least $300 million this way. Don't be the next victim. We'll tell you how to protect yourself. That story's coming up.
And it was a gorgeous day across the Carolinas. 67 this afternoon, 10 degrees above average. But check out the 29 this morning. 3 years ago, 79 degrees, record high. Coming up, though, we're going to be in the 70s tomorrow. I'll tell you how long it's going to last next.
Well, the latest on golfers.